Hi folks, I'm Mike from Minnesota. Welcome to my channel. This video is being brought to you from the Deer River area, but northern Minnesota, on the Leech Lake Reservation at the gateway to the Chippewa National Forest. Thank you for joining me. Today's video is going to be a recipe, a Lebanese recipe, Lebanese meat pies. And the northern mountain region Arabic name for this dish is Fatoyah. That's what I was brought up calling it. Now if you go down to the Beirut area, it would be called Fatayah. And I'll have those different spellings in with the recipe. But we started out with this recipe, and I'll tell you what, these are great to make, especially this time of year. We're just starting our ice fishing season. And up on Red Lake, people are walking out. The resorts are letting them walk out. And but my wife used to make a ton of these, and when I'd go up to Lake of the Woods with the guys, ice fishing for a few days, we'd bring these. They freeze really well. And I'll go into that a little bit later. And then everybody would grab one and bring it out for lunch, along with their deer sticks and, you know, venison jerky and snacks and beverages and stuff like that. But to go ahead with this, we start out with this recipe. We kind of do it the easy way. Instead of making the dough, we use Rhodes Texas Rolls, white, not wheat, and they come in 24 count, and today we're making 48. It's sort of like, since they really freeze well, you might as well, if you're going through the trouble, make a lot of them and freeze them. So we got the Rhodes dough yesterday. We put it in the freezer and let it thaw overnight. And then the next morning we prepared our workspace. We put down freezer paper, and then we floured that paper, and then we laid out the dough. We floured the top of the dough, and you gotta remember to do that, otherwise the next step is gonna be a problem for you, because after you flour the dough, you put plastic wrap on top of that, and then you cover it with dish towels. And you let the dough raise for, I suppose, 2 to 3 hours. One way to know if they're done is if you push your finger in the middle of it and it causes a dimple, and that dimple doesn't raise up, the dough is ready to go. So really towards the end, when the dough was getting done, we made our filling. And in Arabic, the filling, the name of it is Hushwee. Let's see, you'll be seeing in this video the different stages inserted into the video of what it looks like and how we did it. And of course, at the end of the video, I'll be putting a recipe in the drop-down menu of the Hushwee and the Rhodes Texas Rolls. And you'll be able to see how to do this. Believe me, it is a wonderful tasting dish. And tonight we're going to have this. They're really good when they're fresh. So tonight we're making a Lebanese salad, and of course we eat them with garlic sauce, or toum, or tatur, and it's a wonderful recipe. So we'll go on to the next step of this recipe and the process. Right here we're making the meat pie filling, which in Arabic is called Hushwee. So we're browning 2 pounds. This time it's 2.5 pounds of hamburger. And after that gets browned up a little bit, we're going to add the onions and soften them. And then our spices go in, and then lemon juice. So what we'll have here, generally the recipe is 2 pounds hamburger, 1 large yellow onion diced, and then the spices is 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of red pepper flakes, 1 tablespoon of cumin, and 2 teaspoons of pepper. That's what's going to go in there. And right now we have our oven on, set for, I believe, 350. I'll check that later to let you know. And we're also softening some butter, which will eventually go in the microwave and we'll melt it. And that will go on top of the meat pies, or the Fatoyah, before they go in the oven. We also have some pre-greased pans here, pre-greased with Crisco all vegetable shortening, and that's what the meat pies go on, and then into the oven. This is the finishing result of the meat pie filling, or the Hushwee, and it's going to go into a bowl, and then from the bowl we'll be making the meat pies, and you'll see that in a little bit. Folks, this is the process on how to make the meat pies, and my wife Debbie is an expert at doing these. She's been doing them for 40 years or so. Got the recipe and the method from my mother. She uses 2 scoops. These are 1 tablespoon scoops of the meat filling. Pinches it up and makes a triangle out of it. One note here is, if you happen to get your fingers on the meat and those oils on there, flour your fingers, because it won't pinch together properly. You're gonna have to excuse the dryer in the background. I was hoping to shut that off before I started this video, but hey, it is what it is. It's our house coming to you from the North Woods. Debbie makes these beautifully. If I were gonna do this, I tried it before. I think it's, it's just, the more you make them, the easier it is. After this, we'll show you the next step in the process. Our next step is to place the meat pies on a greased pan, Crisco shortening, and then to apply melted butter on the top of them. These are going to go in the oven at 350 degrees for approximately 20 minutes until they're nice and golden brown and obviously look done. So we'll take a look at these after they come out and show you what they are. We'll be putting them on on cooling racks, so we'll have several cooling racks scattered around the kitchen here, because we've got 40 more of these bad boys to do. So we'll see you in a little bit. Folks, this is what you end up with after they're baked We went about 19 minutes on this, but 20 is good. If one opens up on you, it really doesn't matter. They taste just as good as the other ones. These are beautiful and they are gonna really taste good. So we'll be back in the next segment to show you all the rest of them. Hi folks, well this is another segment of Mike from Minnesota, a cooking recipe, Lebanese meat pies. And believe me, they again are great to freeze and take out with you ice fishing. The way I freeze these is I'll be putting all of these on a sheet pan, putting them in the freezer, freezing them overnight or even a little bit longer, and then taking them out and vacuum packing the portions that we want. So we have quite a number of dinners, and this will freeze over the winter time. And you take them out of the freezer bag, pop them in the microwave 1 or 2 minutes, and I'm telling you what, they taste absolutely excellent. So, and I hear that from all of the friends that I've shared these meat pies with. So that's how you freeze them. Tonight's dinner is going to be meat pies, Fatoyah with tum, garlic sauce, tatur, some olives, some black olives. Now green olives are called zaytun. I don't know if they'd say the same thing for that. And Lebanese salad. Special note, we had extra bread dough left over after doing the meat pies, and I made, I fried the bread, kind of a Lebanese fry bread. I believe it's called Zlabeah. I put a call into my Arabic technical advisor, and he wasn't available to make sure. So that was the correct wording. So if that isn't, well, but it sounds familiar, Zlabeah. So that's it from Mike from Minnesota. If this, hopefully this is posted before Christmas, I'd like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a blessed and Happy New Year. And coming to you from the Northland, make every day a great day. God bless.